Hey you. Randolph's safe house has been MIA since Switchboard, but now we got one of their dead drops tagged. Des wants you to check it out.
What's the story about Randolph?
Everyone that knew the actual location of Randolph died during the last Courser Blitz. So this dead drop is our first chance to reestablish contact.
It took this long to make contact? Sounds suspicious.
Yeah, it smells fishy. But if some of our boys need help, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? Once you take care of the dead drop, report in to Des.
Contact Dr. Amari. She'll have more details on the route.
Desdemona.
Contact Dr. Amari. She'll have more details on the route.
About to head out. My safe house kiddies need me to make some booms.
Word is, Diamond City is under opposition control.
Everyone's all, you've been hitting the chems way too hard. But I got my eyes open. I see.
Hi.
Hey, you keep placing meters, and I'll keep paying you. You got the time? I got another site we could place another one of my babies. But if you're here to check out the latest and greatest.
I'm very busy.
Commencing recurrence analysis using Dubrovian method.
About to head out. My safe house kiddies need me to make some booms.
Hey, Glory.
About to head out. My safe house kiddies need me to make some booms.
Pam, I took care of the
To
DIA
statistical
cache.
model. Reward dispensed.
In a move that shocked and angered the people of Massachusetts, the Boston Police Department announced last night that they have ceased all investigations into the actions of reputed organised crime boss Edward Winter. Speaking on behalf of Special Task Force that has been assembled specifically to build a case against Winter, Captain Jonathan Woodmark of the BDO said after reviewing the evidence with our colleagues at the Bureau of Alcohol, Drugs, Tobacco, Firearms and Lasers, firearms, I mean, surely that would cover it. It became clear that we were in fact wrong. Eddie Winter was indeed had a colourful history, but it's not a criminal history. By pursuing our case against Mr. Winter, we would simply continue to waste taxpayers' money, taxpayers' dollars, and even worse, condemn an innocent man. It was an unexpected turn of events, to be sure. According to the Boston Bugle's confidential source within the police department, the innocent man was anything but. As uncovered by Captain Woodmark's official investigation codenamed Operation Winter's End, Eddie Winter was involved in every crime imaginable, from petty larceny to first-degree murder. And although nothing was proved, everyone at Woodmark's task force suspected Winter in the August homicide death of their lead detective's fiancée, a Miss Jennifer Lands. Whatever the truth, it would appear the city of Boston has nothing more to fear from Eddie Winter. When approached for comment, the alleged crime boss could not be reached. In fact, his South Boston sub shop has been shuttered, and his Harbourside residence completely cleaned out. Eddie Winter, it would seem, has disappeared. War. Has there been any extended period of time in recent memory in which soldiers have not fought, bled, and died all for the sake of furthering the political goals of one government or another? The short answer is no. The longer, more terrifying answer is that we have yet begun to experience the extent of human suffering. From Archer Rage in frigid Alaska. Archer Rage to Santu, to our enemy's doorstep. Alright, so I'm correct. False Anchor Ridge. Okay then. American troops have been embroiled in brutal battle. They have taken and lost many lives, a nearly uncountable number, but not entirely, because the truth is the casualties have been countable. These conflicts, however horrible, have all been in some inexplicable, perverted way manageable. Why would that be? Through taxes and various wartime revenues, the United States government has been able to fund a standing army, the likes of which the country has never seen before. The same is certainly true for our mortal foe, China, and with every dollar spent comes a natural accounting of how that dollar was spent. Every bullet, every bunker buster bomb, every body bag, soon after each is used in the theatre of war, we know even how, when and where. But the sad, obvious truth is that the days of manageable war nearly comes to an end. In the minds of the world's great leaders, those billions of dollars haven't merely been spent, they've been wasted. Because here we are, after more than a decade of constant warfare, with no clear end and no clear winner in sight. So really at this point, with other options, what other options do superpowers have, if not the nuclear one? And therein, of course, lies the rub. For when China or the US launches its nuclear missiles and drops its atomic bombs, there will be no one left to count the casualties, let alone the ordnance, no one left to declare victory. So then only one question remains. Is there any way the powers of the world can prevent a nuclear apocalypse? Is there any hope left for the world? We must believe the answer is yes. But these are hopeless times. Yep. Very true of that. Food riots. And what can only be described as a scene of absolute pandemonium. On Friday afternoon, soldiers of the United States Army 184 Infantry Regiment opened fire on a group of unarmed civilians after an unknown person smashed the plate glass window of the Roxbury food bank, prompting several people in line outside to storm into the establishment. As of yesterday evening, at least 4 people were confirmed dead and 8 others injured, but Jonathan Corman, spokesman for the army, insists the troops acted within their authority. The soldiers in question issue explicit verbal warnings several times. These people knew exactly what would happen if they broke the line and attacked the food bank. Hunger is no excuse for civil disobedience, vandalism, or in this case, starting a riot that puts the lives of every civilian in the area at risk. It is the role of the United States Army to maintain order in this difficult time, but that is exactly what happened in this instant. I would also like to point out that the soldiers of the 184 have not had a food ration in 2 days. These men and women understand hunger probably better than anyone. It is a response the army people have grown accustomed to, as violent scenes like the one in Roxbury have played out again and again across the country. As a starving populace tries desperately to obtain food for its families, and as that has happened so many times in the past, the civilian witnesses of the so-called riot tell a different tale. 85-year-old grandmother Hannah Henry was in line of the food bank and claims the soldiers had anything but ordered and liberty on their minds. Anything but alright. They were laughing, joking about who they were going to shoot first. It was all a game to them. These soldiers may not have fired on the crowd because that window got broke, but they was looking forward to it all the same. One can only hope that the violence in Roxbury will be the last such incident our country has to suffer through. But until America finds the strength to question its domestic policies and the food to feed its people, the future remains uncertain. White House. For more than half a year, the West Wing of the Americans' most famous residence has remained shrouded in complete darkness. A skeleton crew of manual labourers remains on staff to maintain the property, but nobody has lived or worked politically there for several months. And even though the White House Press Corps has unofficially and unceremoniously disbanded around the same time, the media has remained steadfast in answering the most important question: where is our president? At first, the assumption was that the entirety of the United States government has moved operations to Raven Rock, the military operations centre located in the mountainous regions of Pennsylvania, just a few miles northeast of the presidential retreat, Camp David, Maryland. But further investigations have revealed that neither the president nor his cabinet have been in the Raven Rock complex in over a year. So if not Raven Rock, then where? Thanks to an extensive and exhaustive investigation, the Boston Bugle has uncovered the answer, and our readers will likely consider it as strange as it is shocking. The President has been leading our country from Poseidon Energy oil rig just off the coast of San Francisco. It's certainly an odd choice for a presidential command centre, or is it? Not as much as it may seem, as our investigation discovered, thanks to the testimony of a highly placed anonymous source. The Boston Bugle has learned that the official designation of the oil rig is actually Control Station Enclave, giving credence to long-run rumours of a secret, militarised shadow government known as the Enclave that would take control of the United States in the event of a nuclear conflagration. And so the mystery of the missing president has finally been solved, but in doing so, has the Boston Bugle also uncovered evidence that the end of the world is in form a total atomic war is also at hand. Sadly, the president's silence seems to speak volumes. Really? First World War? Really? As every resident of Boston is painfully aware, it has been 159 years since the city has revelled in the joy of a World Series victory. Oh, World Series. Why did I think that was a World War? Whatever from strikeout error in the outfield or ball that rolls disastrously through an infielder's legs, defeat has remained our constant unwelcome companion, but not for long. In what has been one of the most exciting World Series races in decades, Boston has achieved 3-0 lead over the unbeatable Texas favourite. Batting, fielding and pitching have all aligned, thanks largely to the direction of legendary coach Dusty Wilder, giving this year's team the best chance they've had for victory and, well, forever. Even more encouraging than Game 4 being played here in Boston is the fact that the team has yet to utilise star pitcher Matt the Missile Murtaugh. I'm going to say Murtaugh. With him on the mould, some are actually predicting not only a series-shattering win, but a no-hitter to boot. Years for years, the concession stands of Boston have fed baseball fans a steady diet of beer, hot dogs, peanuts, and bitter defeat. But on Saturday, October 23rd, 2077, the only thing that could snatch away victory is an act of God, or some unseen calamity of man. Tomorrow, my friends, the unthinkable will finally come to pass, and life in Boston will never be the same. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that.
Mr. Timms here. Randolph Safe House was not hit, but do not make direct contact. Repeat. Do not make direct contact. We got 3 packages, very scared packages here, requesting assistance. Our runner reports we got Gen 1's camp nearby, assuming we're under surveillance. Please have a heavy clear the area, coordinates enclosed. After, please pass our status back to Big D. Mr. Timms out.
Well, explain to me how that didn't die there.
You cannot escape detection for long. Now I understand. You are hiding because you fear death. I must end your existence.
I mean, we want to save Sims, but then you have to kill them.
You must be terrified.
Absolutely. That would be a credit union. Nearest terminal, eh? Skibidi doo doo doobidi boo, skibidi boop bidi bidi boo, skibidi doobidi doobidi doo, skip doobidi doobidi bidi boo. I've got a password for you. Right? It definitely wasn't 4 letters. That's a damn sure. Up.
Sweet. Nice.
Yeah, I would like to press that button, but what does that button do? Nice. Huh. Yeah, look at that.
Bingo.
Unlimited ammo capacity. Okay. Looks like I'll find my new secret pulse weapon then. Didn't see that until I seen it. Do 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 do.
Yes.
Thanks, folks. Messages and messages. Oh. Okay. No, I don't know what's going to happen here. Okay. You'll see those documents would they be classed as something for the guy that brought the Brotherhood to steal?
Got it.
Yeah. What was that now? Clear this area first. Right. Didn't get something that I really didn't. Don't drink the water, man. Shoot. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't ask me. I didn't understand this one. Shooting that, but apparently I'm missing it, even though it looked like I was in it.
Got it.
Saying it looked like I was fucking in it.
Yes. Sweet.
That's where I came in, right? I went up the stairs. Where would that take me? Yeah, always thorough in what I do.
Move there you are.
Yeah, it fills your action points on critical hits. Okay. I think I was going to look into that synth technology. Yeah. So check these first. Spin over there. Okay. Empty globe. There. Bourbon. And they kinda are their allies, but they kinda know their allies. I really didn't care what the hell's going on.
Whoever or whatever you are, I know.
Jack's note. Jack's notes. Jackie boy. God, that's Juice here. I can hear them fighting outside. Dad, I figured out where the data is, but I think I'm too late. I'm sorry. Alright. It took me forever to figure out what you meant about Leslie's birthday. It was a good idea, but we haven't been dating that long. I had to look it up at the student records in the front office. Don't tell them that anyway. While I was there, I overheard that Dean Patterson has an alumni dinner this weekend, so we should out your hair. So he should what? So he should out of your hair. See you Saturday. Okay, I'm guessing he's going to be right. The kind of worded that wrong. Am I reading that wrong? It's an alumni dinner this weekend, so he should out of your hair. Yeah, yeah. I know what they mean, but anyway. I've got you now, you snake. You think I wouldn't notice how often you visit the student credit union? I'm sure it's merely a coincidence that your graduate student, Miss Matthews, is always on shift when you have to get something from your safe. You think it wouldn't reach me that you and she disappeared for hours in the safe? If you don't tell me what the construction was and what your research is about, I will be going straight to the press and the police. Well, I think we know what it was. That super duper weapon. I understand the need for secrecy, sir, but don't you think that we'd get more work done if you gave Leslie and I access to the research without you having to be there? The accident was weeks ago, and you said yourself it was due to a bad fuse. Leslie said she saw the dean skulking around following you yesterday, and it is going to get harder to get work done if he is tailing you all the time. Colonel Rosemount sounded pretty serious about wanting the research as soon as possible. Goddamn Stuart, you aren't worming your way out of this. This Colonel Rosemount you insisted I needed to clearance from is merely insufferable as you are. When I went to see him, he claimed your research was classified and had me escorted from the base. You think you are so clever, but I know this is just one of your army buddies helping you pull a trick. Don't think I won't be talking to our lawyers. First of all, you do not have permission to call me by my first name. I am the Dean here, and you would do well to remember that. Secondly, what is this you've been hearing about you and the officers from the army performing unauthorised construction under the administrative building while I was on vacation? This is absolutely unacceptable. You will explain to me at once what the meaning of this is and what you are researching. Administration building. It's come to my attention that you are contacted by the army regarding your research. I am the one running this university, and I have the right to know and approve all research programs. I know that your colleagues hold you in high regard, and that when we brought you on last year, your contract guaranteed your tenure. But you don't want to make an issue of this with me. I am leaving this afternoon on my vacation, but when I get back in 2 weeks, I expect to be fully appraised of the research. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You're going through my terminal now. I told you that my research was classified. Quit being a pathetic one and just mind your own business. 2 letters in the classroom, the merit. In a lecture from last week about sub-weapon phenomenon, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so I think that's what the research was about, that laser rifle I got. I'm gonna assume. Hey, so we got another level. Could have done that.
Contact detected? Possibly.
Haha. Yes, I see what you did there. Clever. Clever.
That's it.
So that was down there. Hey!
Hell yeah.
5% crit damage. Nice. Actually, I was just going to say that we've not had a comic in quite a while. The door was for here, right? Yeah. Yesterday, and then left flowers on her grave. She was telling stories about her, and I kind of mentioned that I don't really remember what she looked like anymore. He said it was okay, but I could hear him sobbing in his room. Can't take this right now. Going to go scavenging in the flooded area. Still haven't replaced my secondary hard drive after it blew out last week, but I can find a new one. Sylvia also said that her network port has been acting up. It looks like Dad had stopped crying. Hope he didn't realise I snuck back there by myself. I've gotten so good that the lurks don't even know I'm there. I didn't manage to find a replacement port for Sylvia, but I did manage to pull a hard disk out of a large console in one of the lecture halls. Some of the data, it seems to be intact. I'm going to poke around before I reformat. Who knows? Maybe there's something interesting. Oh man, this is big. I managed to get part of the data off that hard disk, and it seems to be some sort of research about reactor efficiency. Part of it was corrupt, but I might be able to find the rest somewhere else. There was a caravan passing through, so I figured I'd see what I might get. If I could find the rest of it, he said to the right person that kind of thing might be worth several hundred caps. We agreed to split, so we can find a buyer. Now I just need to figure out how to get the rest of the data. I haven't been able to make any progress with finding the data, and the lurks have started laying eggs again. And to make matters worse, Dad just got back from some council meeting, and someone found out I had been searching the flooded area. He locked everything up and said I'm not allowed to do any scavenging. Tried to explain about the data, and he listened, but then started acting weird and told me to go into my room and not to come down till he sorts things out. What is going on? So this was that meeting they had. God, what did I do? I've been getting mail from everyone in town saying that the institute is coming and asking if it's my fault. Someone even accused me of being a simp. Somehow they must have found out about the reactor research, but it's not even complete. Dad said it was probably just some scammer or a raider trying to trick us, but I don't know. What if it really is the institute? I need to get back in there and find the data somehow. Says that no more scavenging on the thing with the council blows over. I know people are scared, but I think this guy the mayor talked to is just a calm man. Sounds like it was Kellogg. The Institute hasn't shown up in a long time. Why would they now? I've been calming things down around town, and I think I've got enough support that I can block anything crazy in the vote tonight. I'm not mad at you, I just want you to stay home and just don't start anything up right now. Do you have any idea what you've done, you dumb brats? I think that just because they haven't attacked anyone in years, that's something we all made up. But now the Institute is going to come and kill us all. Do you ever think about that, you selfish little bitch? Your father says you don't have this data they're after, but if that's true, then for all we know, you're actually working for the Institute. Not going to die for you, you son of a bitch.